Hey, welcome to the World Warriors of Capcom Cup Player Showcase. I am UltraDavid.
And I'm James Chen. This is the series of videos where we go over all 32 players. All 32 players from around the world that have qualified for the Capcom Cup. That'll be taking place at the PlayStation Experience on the weekend of December 5th through 6th in San Francisco. Of course, if you guys aren't familiar with the Capcom Pro Tour or Capcom Cup, check out the intro video we did on this channel as well, youtube.com/Capcom Fighters TV, to find out everything you want to know about the Capcom Pro Tour and Capcom Cup. But as I mentioned, these videos are to discuss the players, and we have a player for you today.
That's right, we do. It's Red Bull's Bonchan. Bonchan, who is just so good. We're going to start off just being effusively complimentary to Bonchan.
Look, I mean, obviously a lot of people talk about Daigo, a lot of people talk about all these other players, but Bonchan has been playing on such a level, and he's been traveling to so many events. He's been going to just all over the place.
Yeah.
And he's ridiculous. I mean, even after last year, when he finished second at EVO, a lot of people are like, maybe Bonchan's actually the best player on the planet right now. And at this point in time, it's hard not to put him into like top 3 best player on the planet right now.
I absolutely agree with that. I think he's on the very short list for number 1 player in the world. He uses Sagat. Sagat is his character. Mm-hmm. And unlike many people who have qualified for Capcom Cup, he's really just Sagat. You know, he has one character, and it's a character that is pretty good, but not as good as, you know, some of the other characters that people might make.
Right. It's really interesting because he did get nerfed, and a lot of people wrote off the character. Yeah. They were just like, well, Sagat is not going to be relevant anymore. Right. And Bonchan he played Evil Ryu like once or twice at a random tournament, but it was obvious he was just like, no, Sagat. I'm just sticking with Sagat. Yeah. And it's gotten to the point where I feel like Bonchan's performance with Sagat has bamboozled people, like has fooled people. In fact, just recently, Nemo put out his top 10 character list in Ultra Street Fighter 4, and Sagat was in there.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that at all. I'm not as smart as Nemo is.
Yeah.
Okay, he could be right, but I don't know.
It's Bonchan, right?
I feel like it's Bonchan who's just making the character look that good. That's how much of an effect I feel like Bonchan has on Sagat, that he's made people think that Sagat is a top 10 character.
Bonchan does everything. I mean, he has excellent zoning, excellent footsies, excellent reads, excellent defense, excellent mix-ups up close. He puts himself into the positioning he needs to win a lot of the time, even in matchups where it's very difficult for his character to do. He does it. He has, in my view, he has all of the things that you need to be a top Street Fighter 4 player. I mean,
we mentioned Daigo earlier. Of course, Daigo is the one that trained Bonchan to play, so that's kind of a good teacher to have. But, you know, at the same time, I think Daigo recognized something in Bonchan, was like, you know what, I think you could be a really strong player. Because the thing is, Bonchan, unlike some of these other players that we've been talking about, despite him being super good, I don't know if he's been playing Street Fighter his whole life, maybe even just a little casually, but I believe it was in the Street Fighter 4 series where Daigo really kind of brought him in and nurtured him into this beast second beast, I guess, you know, that Bonchan is. And since then, Bonchan has he's been so significant in the game. Like, you cannot talk about big tournaments and results and all these things without having Bonchan in the conversation. And just all year long, I mean, the accolades that he at one point in time, the biggest insult, or not insult, but the biggest down thing they could say about Bonchan is he had the curse of getting second place all the time.
Right, yeah.
Oh, boo-hoo!
I know, right, yeah.
Boo-hoo!
You're just very consistently in the grand finals. Yeah. Speaking of results, let's talk about his results in the last about year or so of Ultra Street Fighter 4. Southeast Asia Majors 2014, 5th place. EVO 2014, 2nd place. Tiger Uppercut 2014, 1st place. Tokyo Game Show 2014, 2nd place. BS Japan Cup, 2nd. Ishu Sengeki Cup, 2nd. Capcom Cup 2014, he got 9th.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Final round 18, 9th. Red Bull Kumite 1st. NCR 2015 4th. Topanga World League 7th. Double Elimination 2nd. KVO Cross TSB 5th. Stunfest 7th. FFM Rumble 17th. Southeast Asia Majors 2015 25th. But CEO 2015 7th. FE Cup 1st. TGS 2nd. SCR 2015 1st. Ultra Hyakushu Cup 1st. Canada Cup 2015 he got 9th. So yeah, there were some second places in there, but there were a bunch of first places in there as well, and there were just a bunch of top 8s or right outside of top 8. At every major he goes to, he's one of the major threats.
Yeah, and it's really interesting too, because honestly, as good as a player as he is, and as all those placements that you saw over there, he actually didn't officially qualify, via a premier spot until pretty late at Southern California Regionals. He was pretty much in on points no matter what.
Exactly.
I mean, he just racked up so many points.
Exactly.
But eventually he did win the Southern California Regionals, so he did get an auto spot into the Capcom Cup.
That's right.
But yeah, again, I mean, look, we could go on and on and on and on about how great of a player he is. Again, it's just reads. He just has a perfect balance between risks and playing strong and positioning. He just has all the fundamentals that a good player should have, and I feel like he just does it better than so many people.
We were joking about this before, but it's like he's just maxed out all of his stats. Like he's grinded through all the modes, and he's just maxed out all of his stats now.
And every version that comes out, it's like they raise the level cap, and then he just grinds and gets back up to there again every single time. So again, Ultra came out, Sagat got nerfed. He was just like, whatever, I'm still gonna stick with this character, and he's doing just fine with him.
He sure is.
Yeah. So I mean, let's just jump into the match.
Okay, so the match we're gonna watch is from Southern California Regionals, the Grand Finals. This is about a month ago now, a little bit less than that, and it's gonna be Red Bull Bonchan versus Kazunoko.
Right.
So it's already in the second set. Kazunoko won the first set. He reset the bracket.
Right. But one of the significant things to mention, though, is that they played each other in winners finals.
Yeah.
Or somewhere in the winners brackets. I can't remember exactly where, but Bonchan just demolished Kazunoko in that winners bracket match. Now, obviously, Kazunoko made a great adjustment. He's got it here to the second set. So let's take a look at what's going to happen.
Okay, we'll hop in there.
Oops, hang on a second. Let me mute this here.
Just to note, I feel like this matchup is pretty tough for Sagat. Yun just has such mobility. He can be in so many places so quickly. Throwing a fireball is risky for Sagat. Sagat's normals don't really even keep up against Yun's in the mid-range. Like, there's just a lot of stuff that makes this a tough match. So when you're watching Bonchan play, watch where he tries to put himself. It's because it's like almost exactly the right spot a lot of the times.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch this match, all you're going to see most of the time is Kazunoko with perfectly distanced dive kicks and all this other such, and yet somehow Bonchan's going to come out of this on top. And you talk about how mobile Yun is. That's one of the things that makes Bonchan Sagat so special. You always know a player has such mastery of a character when they just make the character look faster than they are, that they're more mobile. He can get to the position that he wants to be every single time. He just knows how to get there. And that's basically, the stare down.
Yeah. Yeah, he's very good at moving around the screen, for sure.
Yeah, and again, as we mentioned, Bonchan with a great performance in winners bracket versus Kazunoko. Kazunoko resets, and Kazunoko, of course, also in Capcom Cup, also super strong player. So, it's going to be a really close match here.
I also really like Bonchan's execution, by the way. He's one of the few Sagats that will do the crouching jab links, or just crouching jab punish right into DP. It's a one frame link, and it's a big commitment, but he's willing to do it.
And look at this comeback that he got on Yun. One of the things that we noticed when we first commentated this match was that how often do you see a Sagat push a Yun into the corner?
Right.
And that happens a lot.
It does.
Now, honestly, obviously, Sagat has very good blowback moves that launch you very far. But again, his mobility compared to Yun, it's like night and day. And the fact that Bonchan can get Kazunoko into the corner is ridiculous.
Yeah, there's a lot of dashing by Bonchan. I love the high tigers in those situations. Those are call-out tigers. He's looking for a jump from Yun, or he's just limiting Yun's mobility. And throwing those like that it really throws your opponent off.
Again, we saw a wake-up uppercut there. Just, again, a good example of that Bonchan is willing to do that.
He's also willing to go in against Kazunoko. Now, they have a lot of experience against each other, but a lot of people are afraid of Kazunoko's wake-up.
Yeah.
And Bonchan is not. You'll see him press the advantage a lot in this set.
You can't be intimidated. I mean, that's one of the things that, Kazunoko, as a Yun player, it looks like he does a lot of random uppercuts, but he just gets people scared. And that's what causes a lot of that's what gives Kazunoko the ability to read when you're going to get hit by wake-ups and such. And that's one of the strengths that Bonchan has, is that he just doesn't get intimidated.
Right.
But obviously, Yun is Yun, and this is...
Yeah, Kazunoko's Kazunoko. He's
exactly.
One of the best players in the world as well. This is not going to be a blow-up. There's Bonchan on the left and Kazunoko on the right.
Yep. And again... it's just seriousness all around on both of these players. And that's the thing, too. This is a little bit of pride. As we mentioned, Bonchan hadn't qualified. He's qualified by points, but he doesn't want to qualify by points. Right. He wants to qualify by winning an event. And again, see, here we go. Yun in the corner. And just almost kind of like Sagat's rushing him down. Perfect backdash, get right into that uppercut distance, and just this pressure in the corner. It's so good. I mean,
it's exactly the right spot on screen, like we were talking about.
Kazunoko obviously diffuses it, but again, just the fact that it even happened in the first place is so rare. See, this is what I mean. Like Kazunoko, this whole game just has perfect dive kick placement.
Ooh, yeah, he does that a few times. It looks like what he's trying to do is specifically wait until it's going to trade that Dragon Punch so that he can get the extra damage on the juggle.
Yeah, meterlessly.
Yeah. And it gets the character in Yun with not much life. Sagat has average life, certainly better than Kazunoko's Yun.
Oh, always got to be careful of Yun, though.
I love these situations where Bonchan will do EX Tiger knee and right into a very dangerous spot. Well, okay, he ends up losing the round on a great jump by Kazunoko. But I love that Bonchan is willing to put himself in those situations. If he feels he needs to make something happen, he has a tool that lets him do it, and he does it.
Yeah, he did EX Tiger knee, low jab, wait, and then EX Tiger knee, low jab, wait. Like, he's trying to get... Yeah, see, there it is again, that trade. He's always he's testing Kazunoko, and that's good. You got to test him. You can't be scared of him. Oh, what a Kara uppercut. Wow.
Hey, see, he's willing to press on Kazunoko. He's willing to go in.
And again... Guess where Yun is? In the corner. It's amazing.
Oh, what a read on that.
Yeah.
After so many command grabs by Kazunoko. Oh, those high tigers to control space like that. Oh, man, that's such a risk. Yun can do EX shoulder right under those.
But see, this is what I mean. It looks like Yun doesn't have room to move.
Right.
And that's ridiculous, because Sagat is a slow character. He is not a fast character, and it really looks like Sagat has rushed down, style.
And in a lot of those up close situations, by when Kazunoko puts himself close with the EX lunge and the like, Bonchan comes out ahead, or at least gets away. Ooh,
see again.
He's not afraid.
Yeah, again, he gets hit by that, but we've seen it a couple of times. And I mean, look, that's what Kazunoko does, right? And he's gonna get punished, but he wins a lot. So Bonchan willing to do it right back at him. Oh, an execution error from Kazunoko. That's kind of painful for him, but...
Again, you see this EX lunge punch. Again, Bonchan takes control of the situation. Oh God. Because everybody else is afraid. Yep. Everybody else is afraid. When Kazunoko does EX lunge, now he's in, everybody else trembles a little bit. Bonchan is... He knows the situation so well. I mean, like I said, they have played many times, and he knows it. He knows what his opponent's gonna do or what he feels the opponent's gonna do, and so he's just not as concerned about it, which I think gives him a lot of strength.
Yeah, again, this guy's on another level when it comes to reads and such. So
I love the dashing. Dude. Yeah, it's just not what you expect.
Yeah,
but it's such a good positional idea.
Oh, those high tigers, like you said, it's so beautiful. And then he pauses right when he does the shoulder.
Right.
Just a perfect read, and look at this. This is just such a dominating round for him at the start.
still he's moving forward. So you see he doesn't really want to be in that mid-range. Yun has a lot of control right there. You see him back away from it. He jumped back to Bonchan, or he wanted to be right up close. So he gets where his character is supposed to be. It's not the traditional Sagat. Traditionally, Sagat wants to be in that mid-range spot. But in this matchup, when he knows that's not a good idea, he's very capable of playing around it.
And there was that one really strong sequence where he slowly kind of pushed Kazunoko back from this corner position all the way past half screen. Yeah, again, I mean, you can see that. I mean, Bonchan doesn't make it look like a bad match. But when you see rounds like this and you see the kind of control that Yun has in this match, do I dive kick or not? Can I go through fireballs with my EX shoulder? Can I dive kick perfectly and hit you on the toes? This is not a fun matchup for Sagat by any stretch of the imagination. And the way Bonchan plays it, I mean, look, there is few players in the entire FGC that I feel like are one with their character. And Bonchan is definitely one of them.
Yeah, agreed. So in that situation, Kazunoko backdashed after that EX lunge. Kazunoko backdashed. He's afraid.
Right. And here comes... Oh, see, again, went for it. And, you know, it's paid off for Kazunoko a couple of times, but not in that way that's significant enough that I think Bonchan feels like he needs to stop. Oh,
that was so good. And by the way, he saved that until right then. He hadn't done that this entire match.
Right.
That focus dash.
Okay, just a tiny little bit of life left that he's got to take off here. And this was kind of an odd ending here.
Yeah. It's probably an execution error by Kazunoko. Probably wanted EX lunge.
Right. Leaves him kind of resourceless, and so you see him end up dashing into the roundhouse there. But I mean, look at how happy Bonchan is. Like, there's this. He's in Capcom Cup.
Yeah, already, as you said, he's almost certainly in there via points.
Right, and there's this look on his face, like finally.
Yeah.
And it's such a refreshing thing to see too for someone who's so good and does so well at all these events, and he's already in there.
Fat King is giving him the bow.
Yeah. And despite all that, like, for him to want to win like this and for him to want to take this event, I mean, I just think that's awesome. I think that's awesome. He's such a good competitor. He is such a strong competitor.
Yeah, I think he's as we said before, in the very short list of top players in the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And look, can he take Capcom Cup? Yeah. Yes. The answer is yes, he can take Capcom Cup. He is definitely one of the favorites. He is a scary guy.
Do you think there's anything in his way? What's in his way? I'm not sure. I mean, part of me wants to say potential character problem matchups, but that just doesn't matter for him. I just really feel like that's like he's figured it out. Yeah. And that's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I mean, he can lose, certain matchups from time to time.
Look, he's not perfect.
Right?
I don't want to say he's perfect. He does lose. He doesn't win everything. You know?
Like even at Canada Cup, for example, he lost to Snake Eyes pretty badly, which is supposedly a matchup in his favor, and such like that. He's not infallible, but I mean, just when you look at all the players and you look at what they've done and how strong they are, he's obviously going to be one of the favorites. Honestly, the only thing I can kind of think that might get in his way, and this is very minor, but maybe Daigo. If he just doesn't run into Daigo or something. Because Daigo's given him a lot of problems with Evil Ryu in the past. Obviously, they've trained with each other a lot. And I've heard stories that Daigo can beat up Bonchan pretty badly in the Evil Ryu Sagat matchup. And they know each other, and they know each other's tendencies and such like that. So maybe that might be one of the biggest problems, but I mean, look, Daigo didn't do as well as a lot of people thought at Capcom Cup last year.
That's true. Right?
If that happens again, sky's the limit for Bonchan. And even if he does run into Daigo, I think he can beat Daigo.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, in my view, he's one of the favorites.
Yeah. So, I mean, do you think that there's anything he's got to add to his game or something he's got to work on to give him a better chance to win, or?
No, I think he's pretty set.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think both of us agree that his chances at Capcom Cup are pretty high. Yeah. Now, anything could happen at this event because
Of course.
Upsets are going to happen.
Of course. Look, 32 of the best players in the world. Some of them have to go 0-2. Some of them have to go 1-2, etc. You know, that is to say, win 1 and lose 2. But and they're going to get eliminated. Probably not going to be Bonchan. I'm just going to go out on a limb. But you never know. You never know.
Right. But yeah, Bonchan, he's been such a strong player for the past couple of years now.
Yeah.
Second place at EVO, like you mentioned, just finishing. I mean, that might be one of the things. Like, it was obvious when he played against Luffy at EVO that he had trouble adjusting to the Rose matchup a little bit. Maybe he can run into a random character that might cause him little problems or something like that. But I don't know.
I expect him to be more practiced at this point. Yeah, and I know he put in a lot of work in the Rose matchup after that.
Right.
I imagine that was something that would spur him on to just, do his homework. Do his homework.
I mean, the nice thing about it is, for the most part, you're going to know who all the characters are going to potentially run into at Capcom Cup, right? Whereas something like EVO, it's a little bit harder. He ran into Vi's Hugo, for example, and Vi upset him at that tournament and such. At 2015, yeah. So there is definitely a chance. I think maybe if I had to pick something for that might get in Bonchan's way, maybe character unfamiliarity with just those really rare characters or something like that. So,
well, all right. We'll see what happens.
I'm trying, man.
I hear you. No, I know. It's a struggle. Anyway, look for Bonchan at the Capcom Cup, which will be at the PlayStation Experience December 5th through 6th.
That's right. If you're there, please try to get some live tickets to go watch this. It's going to be really exciting. It's going to be such a fun event. Again, 32 of the best players. If you can't be there live, of course, twitch.tv/Capcom Fighters. Follow them so that you'll get notification as soon as it starts. You do not want to miss this. If you're even marginally interested in Street Fighter, you have to watch this.
Yeah, if you put in the time to watch this video, you should probably be interested in that.
Exactly.
So. All right. Well, I hope that you'll also be interested in analysis of this sort, which we do on our own channels, which are twitch.tv and youtube.com/UltraChenTV.
Yeah, we talk, especially on Tuesdays, for every Tuesday, we always do like a recap of everything that happened in the previous weekend. We talk about stuff that's coming up. We talk about a lot of the hot topics in the FGC at the time in the fighting game community. Yeah. So definitely check that out. You can also follow us on Twitter at UltraChenTV.
All right. Well, thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you at Capcom Cup.